So Rupert Lowe from the Restore Party, this is another, he was in the Reform Party, but he was kicked out because he was threatening one of the other members of the party, that useless, they should call him. He's another horrible man. So this is what's going on in politics. They're all horrible people at the moment. The only good one was Keir Starmer, and they've got rid of him. You know, but whatever you say about Keir Starmer, he's a good man. You know, maybe did make mistakes. Maybe he's crap. He could have been not a nice person that doesn't do things. You know, he tries to do the right thing. All these bloody weirdos, they're the ones that are taking over UK politics. So Rupert Lowe, don't know if you've heard what he's done. So he's the leader of Restore, which are like an alternative but similar to Reform. So he got kicked out of Reform, and so he created his own party, Restore Party. Anyway, he's appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast. And Joe Rogan, I can't say I've ever watched him that much, but he's apparently the most popular podcaster currently in the world. Joe Rogan. And Rupert Lowe, yeah, let's have a look at the picture of him. Oh, well, we're going to watch the video anyway. He had appeared on Rogan's podcast and talked about guns. You know, the Americans are always, you know, can't believe that in Britain you're not allowed to own handguns and things like that. And he's appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast complaining the fact you can't have handguns. Daddy had to give all his handguns in after the Dunblane incident that he described as one murder. So Dunblane, where 16, most of which were children, were massacred. He's referring to it as one murder, and also complaining that meant his poor daddy couldn't go hunting anymore and do this, that, and the other, and he had to give up all his handguns, etc. Like he was really upset, you know, like that was more important. What, for fuck's sake? Oh, I just can't cope anymore. What's wrong with these people? And the thing is, they're out there saying it. So, you know, I'm sure people think things sometimes that we might think, oh, you know, that's terrible to think that. But in this day and age, because of Trumpy, it's like it's acceptable to go out and say horrible things. And, you know, publicly. What a tosser. Oh. So let's have a look at that. I don't know if you saw this, David, in Scotland. You can imagine, can't you? Because Dunblane happened in Scotland, wasn't and, you know, Andy Murray, the tennis player, wasn't he actually at that school? But obviously he lived. But yeah, so let's just remind ourselves what happened at Dunblane first of all. So this is why in Britain we don't have these school shootings like they have in America, because what we had one, you know, or there may have been a couple, but the Dunblane massacre, after that, handguns were banned. So we don't have school shootings. Dunblane primary school in Stirling, or near Stirling, Scotland, on 13th of March 1996. Gosh, I thought it was longer ago than that. When 43-year-old Thomas Hamilton killed 16 pupils, one teacher, and injured 15 others before killing himself, and it remains the deadliest mass shooting in British history. So after the killings, public debate centred on gun control laws, including public petitions for a ban on private ownership of handguns and an official inquiry. So that's what happened. All those children and the teacher were killed because some nutter went in there. They think he had like some sort of grudge against the school or against children, because wasn't he a scoutmaster or something? Let me just wasn't he a scoutmaster? Yeah, Thomas Hamilton. Let's see. What did he do? Yeah, he was in the Scout Association and he was doing well in it, but then complaints were made about him. Complaints about scouts being forced to sleep in close proximity to him inside his van during hill walking expeditions. So that he was sort of sacked because they were suspicious of his moral intentions towards boys. And then he tried to become a scout master in another area and he couldn't do that. And so he blamed that on the failure of his business, and he complained that he tried to organise a boys' club, but he was persecuted by local police. Yeah, he was always trying to be around boys. So yeah, he seemed to have some grudge against children, I suppose, because he wasn't allowed to abuse them. I don't know. Anyway, so let's have a look at what this twonk said on the podcast. I think he was there that day, David. I have a feeling he was there that day in another classroom. But anyway, so let's have a look what this twonk said about it. Honest to God, everyone was gobsmacked, because it sounds like when you listen to him, what he's basically saying is like not sympathetic. You're saying, and obviously must have just said the wrong word. I don't know, but the feeling that comes over is like his poor dad. He had to give up all his handguns. Oh, didn't. No empathy for the victims. No, most right-minded people would say, that was a good day when handguns had to be all handed in. Not this twonk. Oh, no. And he's supposed to be a man of the people as well. Let's hear him.
Shooters who like to go and shoot game, who like to go and hunt, effectively.
What it means is like to go and murder animals. That's what he's yeah. Because he's a man of the people. He's a man. He's another one like Farage. They try and say they're men of the people, but they don't live normal lives.
They're trying to make that very difficult through the licensing laws for guns. As you probably know, they banned handguns.
The 90s, right?
In the late 90s, because there was a murder up in Dunblane.
One murder.
So everybody, my father used to shoot pistols for Oxford University.
Yeah, there was a murder. Now he says it twice, like his political party are trying to say, he meant one incident, but he says it twice. He says because of a murder in Dunblane, and then Joe Rogan says to him, one murder, and he doubles down on it. Maybe he thought it would never get picked up on.
My father used to shoot pistols for Oxford University, and he's dead now, bless him, but all his pistols were taken away. The pistols he used to shoot with at Oxford University. I mean, we now have a society which needs radical change.
So yeah, he says about his dad. Oh God, oh bless him.
And hunt through the licensing laws for guns. As you probably know, they banned handguns.
The 90s, right?
In the late 90s, because there was a murder up in Dunblane.
One murder.
One murder. So everybody, my father used to shoot pistols for Oxford University, and
there was a murder in Dunblane, and Joe Rogan says one murder, and he says yes, one murder. Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again, Rupert, you twonk.
In the late 90s, because there was a murder up in Dunblane.
One murder.
One murder. So everybody, my father used to shoot pistols for Oxford University, and he's dead now, bless him, but he had, all his pistols were taken away. The pistols he used to shoot with at Oxford University.
Yeah, so twice he says one murder. So can you imagine? Oh, David, I've just got to tell you that comment. I know you're angry. Now it's flagged up. David's comment. You know what YouTube's like. Now I've pressed show. Whether it'll still come up, I might get banned off YouTube. You do have to be careful. I mean, I agree completely with you. I just got to hear this idiot saying that again.
For guns, as you probably know, they banned handguns.
The 90s, right?
In the late 90s, because there was a murder up in Dunblane.
One murder.
One murder. So everybody, my father.
Yeah. So he's trying to distance himself now. You know, Restore have released this comment saying, oh, he obviously meant incident, but he said it twice. One murder. He said it twice. He doubled down on it. Wasn't a mistake. He's a knobhead. Another knobhead. So this is what, do you know what? I would definitely, if I had a chance, and I can vote in elections, in general elections in the UK. I have to do the postal vote, but I am entitled to vote. I'm voting Count Binface. I mean, I can't vote in the Clacton thing, obviously, but I would, if anybody out there is from Clacton, my advice to you would be vote for Count